Hey Nippers, it's me, Wild Neptune, and this is going to be an Epic 7 video. It's going to be about the new upcoming patch and some more exciting future content. Of course, if you like this video, leave that like down below, subscribe, and here we go. So, gonna move quickly here to some of the less exciting stuff. Chapter 7, open it up, pretty good. You get all this sky stones from these stages here. If you really want to, you can get these, even though nobody farms these because, well, they take too long, right? You get this piece of gear here. Honestly, if you're at this chapter and episode, you don't need this, but there it is. Okay, equipment subject changes. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. We knew this was coming. Basically, you'll be able to use a modification gem to change one substat. You can only change one line per piece of gear. So here they change. I don't know. They change this speed to health, flat health. Like, not something I would do. But once you change this, you'll be able to change it again if you wish. Right? That's why this is little swap arrow thing right there. From what I understand, level 2 expeditions will drop this, the lesser ones, and level 3s will drop the greater ones, unless that was changed. See your own modification materials. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, right here, it says right there. And more areas where they can be attained with added later updates. They did say on the live stream that next month, the Expedition Depot will be updated to have like a selection chest for these. So on top of that, changes to being able to invite more people to your expedition will also be coming up soon. Keep in mind that the rolls you get from your substat swap will be lower than what you could get if you just got the stat normally. So you're not gonna be able to like get insanely high rolls with it, but you will be able to get like rid of, you know, things you don't want. Maybe like effectiveness on a Soul Weaver piece or ER on a DPS piece, stuff like that. So probably gonna be pretty good for most players. There's also the Skyward season is gonna open up. Here's the nice frames here, looking pretty good. The Unknown Slate is coming back, of course, so everybody should buy this first, I would say, when they can. And there's also crit set gear. Honestly, if you're a new player, you should probably still try to pick these up. I don't know if... I'll be honest, if you are not a new player, I'm on the fence about buying these. I'd say they are actually not worth it at all, because they are known to roll very poorly. Like, I would probably not even pick up. Well, let's look at them. I say the only one that might be worth getting is the ring, and maybe the helmet. The other 4 are, you know, they'll have ER on it, which is kind of bad, and it's not very exciting. I've been disappointed with all my arena gear since, like, I think the last good one I rolled personally is all the way back from like season 2. So let that sink in. Of course, there's going to be the next episode of the side story. So you'll be able to start the next 4th round. So once you did rounds 1 through 3, you'll be able to do 4 through 6. So I believe you'll be able to go back and do week 1 in week 1, and then do the 2 here week 2, which is Isari and Wanda. You know, not positive about that. That seems like what it's going to be. Just be careful, because a lot of people have been talking about this, and they don't make it necessarily really clear in the game, but you do have limited attempts at doing this side story. So you know, don't screw up. Don't if you don't want to get the bad ending, don't pick the thing that gives you like -20 to every stat. Like that's, you know, that's all I have to say. Okay. All right. Okay. With all of this, they kind of explained this already last last time. Oh, it was the Goblin Challenge for some gold. Here's the stuff you're gonna get in the shop this week. There's a Ray banner and a Chloe banner. Ray right now is really strong. If you haven't built, his cleanse and heal and element is strong against the water debuff meta and some other things too. So if you need a strong anti debuff unit, he's a good option. And Chloe is Chloe. It's too bad that Doctor's Bag, more like Doctor's Gag, because it's a big joke of an artifact is his artifact, or whatever. But also for debuff fighters, you have Designer Lilibet. We talked about her a couple weeks ago. So here we go. There she is in her fabulous pose, and the cat, which is I really like the cat, but she's coming to Mystic Summons. Again, talked about her last time, so not gonna go over her skills right now. Also, Guild Wars season is also ending, so there's that. So improvements, expeditions. So this is for level 3. The big things are that less time, ER is reduced, and the health is also reduced. So I think the biggest one here is the turns, because when I run these, they take a long time. It is very noticeable how long they take when I run them. Also, the adjustments for the water boss, which doesn't matter because it's not there anymore, for a few months it's going to be reduced. Same thing for the grass boss. And I think the grass boss is the most noticeable one because he takes reduced damage from single target attacks, and not all AoE hits the hardest. So this is probably gonna be pretty good for the grass one right now, especially because I feel like that's the one where the least amount of players have units built that are good for it, like myself, because most of my heroes kind of suck for the grass boss. Alright, yeah, and this is up there before, but the gems. So some other things they're gonna do is an illustration we added in. Oh, okay. So before, when he started a new game, you just got a freaking black screen and they had text. Now there's gonna be a picture. Okay, you know, that's nice. All right. Equipment management. Okay, so now you can just choose. I don't know what. Oh, okay. So now, when you choose 2 of them, you can swap them right away. So before, what you had to do was you had to so let's say you have health and crit, which means that it would take all your gear with health percentage substat, right? And look for the highest ones, and then filter all in with crit. So it would take all your highest health and rank those in order that also have crit on them. Let's say you wanted to change that around, and you want to have all your highest crit chance subs that also have health percentage on them. Before, what you had to do was deselect one of them, and then move the other one to the other slot. This way, you could do it in 1 click now. So, a lot faster, right? Pretty good there. Oh, and you can also, this here too. I actually don't know what this is exactly, but it's there. But that's all of the stuff in the actual patch. But let's go on to some other interesting things that they talked about. And that will be some new heroes and some other interesting things. So the first one is going to be, they talked about this a while ago. It is the Book of Memories. It is a side story repeat. It says here, we've started March 18th. Take some of my energy fuel, aka coffee, right there. So it's starting off with Full Moon Festival and Rainbow Ring Manor. User of the Saint, which is DN, will be available at a later date. So March 18th, again, is in 2 weeks from now. So here, Midnight Bloom, which is probably the best PvE artifact in the game, next to, say, Joker, and Yuna's Imprints here. Also, Cirilla, Chatty, I think Kiki Rat, and stuff like that is in one of these too. They'll all be available by replaying some side stories. Where's the next? Can I go? There we go. So, in order to access it, you declare episode 2, 1010, and it costs 900 Sky Stones to unlock. 900 is about what I thought it would cost originally when I went over it. I actually thought it'd be maybe a little bit more, like 1,000, but I think that's a reasonably fair price overall. So heroes, artifacts, and memory print ingredients are obtainable. Also, reduce repeating gameplay factors for event currency, so you won't have to be farming like 1,000,000 times like before, because there is a cost to get in, so the cost to get the currency and all the other stuff will be lowered. And they're going to be in chronological order, so not released in chronological order, but the side stories will be displayed here in chronological order. So now you can know where in the timeline each of the things actually take place. It's not always clear when they do. So that's, a nice thing to have with people who want to know about the lore and stuff like that. Also next week, there's going to be a Violet skin with an epic pass. Obviously, his band is also coming. All you have to do is look at the current side story and see that Violet Talisman is the artifact for week 3 to know that his banner was going to pop up. But what people maybe did not know is that there's going to be another banner next week for a new hero, and here she is. Let's go right to a splash page, and it is Ida. Looks like a... I like her It's like almost like a raven or like a crow, you know. It's almost like a black bird like aesthetic, right? Like really good waifu. But here are her stats. She is a ice mage. She has attack release, effectiveness, imprint, concentration. She has okay speed for a mage, a little bit lower. Her defense is decent. Attack is pretty good. I mean, really high actually. Health is okay, right? She has some crit chance imprints here at 27. So, you know, mage stats. But let's look at her skills now. Let's start with skill 1. It's simply a 65s out of 75 at max chance to make them healable for 1 turn, which is okay. Unhealable is a... It's not a common S1 debuff. How good it is right now is debatable, but her skill 2 is attacks all enemies with an explosion of ice, dispelling 1 buff before decreasing combat readiness of a random amount between 5 and 20%. A critical hit will decrease combat readiness by another 10%. So kind of like what Broman. ML Roman does. It kind of like Bassar too, right? But is a 1-turn cooldown thing, so it's 3 turns at the lowest, and a 10 soul burn will decrease it by 2 turns, so technically you can do it every other turn. Now, but critical hits basically means that it's between 15 and 30%, which is actually a pretty substantial amount overall for a skill that is on a pretty fast rotation if you have a 10 souls for it, right? So she's a hero you obviously want to have at 100% crit chance. But look at her skill 3. Releases energies to attack all enemies with a 60% chance to stun for 1 turn. Max 85%. Increases combat readiness of all allies by 5% according to the number of critical hits made. Okay, so max 20% increase. This is on a 4-turn cooldown at max, so 5 minus 1 is 4. And so she has a boost, and she has a pushback. She doesn't have any like debuffs. She does have a strip on her S2. Oh wait, there's also stuns, which is pretty good. It's So what's gonna happen is that just either she has to follow another stripper, or she has to like hold on to this and use her S2 first. So might be a little bit clunky to use. We'll have to see. I'll go over her and the other heroes in a future video in more detail with more in-depth thoughts, but right now I think just right off the top she might have, say, a fireball problem where she has technically a good kit, it's just kind of hard to use overall. But let's move on to her artifact, Twilight Calamity. So Increase the crit chance of all allies by 5%, and the effective of 15%. This artifact skill effect can only apply to one hero within a team. So crit chance is pretty good. This is a really strong. Is it really? I don't know, because here's the thing: a lot of your units are gonna have high crit chance anyway, but and this is like, I don't know how meaningful this is right here. It's something that's good for like PvE, right? But for PvP, you can't like rely on having this, in my opinion, unless you only draft like, you know, one character all the time and you know you're gonna have this a lot. So, you know, not really excited about this one. There's another hero though that's coming out. That is gonna be the next ML 4-star, which is Great Chief Kiwana. So, her stats right here. First of all, she looks really good, right now. Like, we need more dark-skinned, like tan units. But 4-star ML warrior. So her stats. First of all, look at this. 43% base crit chance. Like ignore every other thing. You just look at this, and like, is this a typo? Is this like, you know, real? Well, it is. Why is it real? Well, let's look at her skills. Starting with her skill 1, which is a 100% chance at max to restrict for 1 turn, and for 2 turns when the target is light elemental. So when they showed this on the video, on the stream, they showed it against the Katie's boss, which is light. So a lot of people are still not farming it, not because it's like really difficult. I mean, it is the hardest hunt, but because the sets kind of suck, which is why. But her skill 2 is increase critical hit chance by 20%. So there's the bonus crit chance there that she's getting. And when the ally is attacked by a dual attack, increase the attack of the cast by 15%. And attack up to 5 times. I believe that this is I think, I'm not positive, that this is in addition to her already huge crit. I don't know, is it? Let me think. 20. This is what, 10, so 30%. I don't know if it's already, if the crit chance already added this in or not, right? But still, this is a pretty huge. This is a really this is a lot of crit chance, okay? And obviously here, she's for all of the Lilius, Cerise, all these other dual attackers that are here in the game. She's gonna just get some buffs right here. It is a selfish buff, right? Where she's not doing anything to like help the survivability of her team when she does this, but she's very obviously right now a Cerise check. Not a counter, you know, but something that where if Cerise is on the enemy team, you can pick her and she'll be able to punish her a little bit there. Her skill 3 releases energy to attack all enemies with a 60% chance, max 85% chance to stun for 1 turn. Oh, hold on. That's Ida's skill. Let me, here. There we go. Okay. Releases the power to dispel 2 debuffs from all allies and grant increased speed and a barrier for 2 turns. Barrier trained to increase board to the caster's attack, grants an extra turn. Okay. Well, if you weren't sure who she was going to counter, now you know. So it straight up dispels 2 debuffs and gives increased speed. Increased speed is a pretty rare buff for a party. It also gives a barrier. Not only that, barriers also supports to test his attack, and as you saw from her other skill, she gets increased attack when dual attacks happen from the enemy team. It also gives an extra turn, so you can right away go into a skill 1. So looks like a pretty good check to not only some debuffers, but also, especially to Cerise and everything like that. So pretty excited about Kiwana here. Unfortunately, I got rid of all my Kiwana, what do we call it, like normal ones. But so, you know, hopefully I'll get some here and there to get some of the good imprint and stuff like that. Thankfully, her concentration is effectiveness, which isn't like the most important for her. I actually don't know why is effectiveness. She doesn't really have any I guess she has a stun, right? But you know, it's not the biggest loss if you don't have one of these, right? But there's some other things here, like this. I'm sure you all saw it before. Epic 7/Guilty Gear. More details with separate notice. So what this is probably going to be is it's probably going to be in the repeat like side story, whatever, that we're gonna get in a couple of weeks, and it's probably gonna be from that. On the live stream, they did confirm that there's gonna be a new IP and Guilty Gear, so we're getting both. Yay! Anyway, good for new players here because they can get, you know, these heroes they don't have before, and you know, older players, they can you know, not do it because they already did twice, right? And of course, there's the maintenance coming up, so don't forget to do your guild wars and other things like that before this happens, because you never know if it will be extended or not. They have been pretty good at finishing on time, but again, you know, just be safe, right? Anyway, that's all for today. I'm Neptune. Don't forget that we're gonna go over the new heroes in more detail in a couple of days probably, but have fun playing Epic 7. Nep out.